don't even know how many I have. 14. I have 14. I'm not so good at this not buying things thing. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with all the books that I acquired in September. So it is October now, which means we have to go over all the books that I acquired last month. Y'all know the drill. I'm going to talk about books that I picked up that I'm very excited to read and probably won't get to for 2 years because that's who I am. So let's just dive in. I feel like I don't need to introduce what this video is. It's very obvious. Let's talk about some books. Okay, so the first one that I acquired was a pre-order because I believe it came out on the 1st of September. That sounds right. And that is A Rogue of One's Own by Evie Dunmore. This is a companion to Bringing Down the Duke. Yes, Bringing Down the Duke, which I read in February. So this is just a companion that follows a couple of characters from that book. Honestly, don't even know what this is about. I just really loved her debut novel, and I just really like her writing style. When I found out that she was doing a sequel, well, not really a sequel, a companion to it, I was very excited because I really loved it so much. So this one follows more suffragettes. So I think this one, timeline-wise, takes place before Bringing Down the Duke, but it follows Lady Lucy, who I believe was the leader of the suffragettes in the first book, if I remember correctly. And she's finally scraped up enough money to buy this building, which is hopefully going to be kind of like the headquarters for this coup that she wants to start, you know, to give women the right to vote. And the one thing standing in her way is the lovely Tristan, or as he is more commonly known, Lord Ballantyne, who is a rogue. Can you tell by the title? And obviously, like, they're gonna play wits and outmaneuver each other, and if it's anything like the first one, it shall be very steamy, which I loved a lot about the first one. So I'm really excited to dive into this one. The next book that I picked out was one that I did want to get my hands on. I just didn't think I'd get my hands on it this early, but I had to read it in September, so we picked it up. And that is the third volume of Heartstoppers by Heartstopper. I always want to call it Heartstoppers. Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I don't really know what I can say about this one because it will spoil the first two, but this entire series follows two boys named Nick and Charlie as they figure out love and their sexuality and all of that fun stuff. This one does take place when they go on a class trip to France. It doesn't encompass the entire volume, but this definitely tackles some very hard things, so I would look up trigger warnings for this one before diving into it. But I really do love this series a whole lot, and I needed to get my hands on it because I love reading them physically over reading them online. So I got my hands on this one so I could read it in September, which I did, which you guys would have already seen my wrap up. So like, go watch that because then you can know more about what I'm thinking. Spoiler, it was great. So the next one I picked up was a Kindle like free book that Amazon sends me emails about daily. And that one is Tamed by the Duke by Claudia Stone. Basically this follows a girl named Charlotte whose younger sister really wants to like come out into society, but her father won't let her until she gets the attention of a duke. So she goes out and basically tries to find a duke that will give her attention for a long enough time so that her dad will let her younger sister start courting. And then said Duke may or may not have actual feelings for Charlotte. Who knows? It's a historical romance. It sounded good. I picked it out because it was free. The next one is the second Kindle pick that I got this month, and that is The Woman on the Orient Express by Lindsay Jane Ashford. This one, if I can remember correctly what this one's about, it basically follows Agatha Christie as if she's on the Orient Express. So, like, I think it sets it up to be kind of like her own novel and giving her inspiration to write said novel, Murder on the Orient Express. So I'm really interested to see kind of like, not necessarily a retelling, but a remake and a reimagining of her book because I have read that one. I read it earlier this year and really, really enjoyed it. So I'm curious to see kind of this take on Agatha Christie. It seems like it would be fun. The next one I totally picked up on a whim because I saw it on Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd's Instagram, I think, and it sounded amazing. And so I picked it up. Also, I'm pretty sure it is self-published or indie published or something. But that is Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Trista Matter. This is a poetry collection all about like women and feminism and empowering women, and I do think it's kind of a retelling using like mythology, which I'm really interested by. I love mythology. Y'all know this. I love poetry. I love retellings. This is everything in one. So this will be like the next poetry collection I pick up. It sounded amazing, and I am very excited to see it. It just seems like a collection of awesome feminist awesomeness, basically. And I'm ready to dive in. Totally random, decided to pick it up, but I'm very excited about it. Like all of the things on this list. Well, the next one I picked up might be one of my most anticipated releases of the year. And that is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, which I read last year and utterly loved. Apparently there's going to be a third one, so it's at least a trilogy. I'm ecstatic. I'm actually currently reading it. I don't know if you can see that, but this series, because I can't really tell you what's in this one, because, you know, spoilers from the first one, but this series follows two people, Lou, who is a witch, and Reed, who is a witch hunter, who, due to certain circumstances, end up having to have an arranged marriage and get married in the first book. And it's a love-to-hate relationship, and it's fabulous. I love it so much. I love this series so much, and so I need to know, because, like, it ended so abruptly, and I'm afraid she's going to do that again to me with this one. But I'm here for it. I'm here to get my heart broken and shattered, because I love these characters. So the next one I'm going to do together, because I bought these, I wouldn't say I bought these on a whim. It was more of like I wanted to get these, so I decided to go ahead and do it. And that is these three. It is Night, Dawn, and Day by Elie Wiesel. I read Night in high school and really, really enjoyed that as much as you can reading a nonfiction book about the Holocaust. But I didn't know that it was part of a series, and I think that it goes Night, Dawn, Day. I might have them out of order, but Night is for sure the first one, and I just remember really diving in and just being completely captivated by his writing in this world, so I wanted to get my hands on this one. And then when I realized it was a series, I said, well, of course I have to get all of them. Like I said, these are nonfiction books. They follow Elie Wiesel because he was in Auschwitz, and so it follows his time in the concentration camp. And not happy. They're not happy books, but, you know, they're not going to be if they're about the Holocaust. You know what I mean? But I wanted to get my hands on them, and I finally just did it. And I'm very happy that I did, because I went to reread this one and remember how much I liked it, and if I'll have different thoughts based on when I read it. Oh, it's been a while. 5 years? Way more than 5 years. 10 years ago. Yikes. But I haven't read these two, so I just needed to get my hands on these. The next one. Yes. And that is Who I Was With Her by Nita Tyndall. This just came out in September. I do not remember, but it's out now, so please, oh my gosh, go get your hands on it. I read this in September and raved about it, so go check out my wrap-up. But this basically is fabulous. I was able to get an e-arc of this book from NetGalley, and then when I was reading it, I wasn't even 20%, 30% of the way in, and I was like, cool, this book's amazing, and I went and pre-ordered a hard copy or a finished copy, because it was so amazing I needed to get my hands on it. This follows Corinne, whose girlfriend dies at the very, very beginning of the book in a car accident. However, no one knew that they were dating, because Corinne is not out to anybody. And the only way, like the only person that she can really talk to is her ex-girlfriend, her girlfriend's ex-girlfriend, Alyssa. And so Corinne and Alyssa strike up this friendship, and then like maybe feelings stir. It's stunning. I absolutely love the cover. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I think there's a lot of great things in this book. So I will leave my wrap-up linked above. So please, please, please go read this and go watch it if you're curious about this, because I think it was very beautiful. And I wanted to get my hands on it because I loved it so much. And of course I will be tabbed it like crazy. And this will be one that I reread a lot. The next one I also totally picked up on a whim based on a booktuber's recommendation. And that is Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction. And that is The Ladies of Grace Adieu by Susanna Clarke. This is the author that wrote Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which I haven't read. I haven't read anything by this author. This is basically a collection of folk tales, fairy tales, short stories, but it's compared to, like, the writing-wise, is compared to Jane Austen. It has that kind of older, classic writing style. And y'all know the minute that they said, this kind of sounds like Jane Austen, I was like, yes, must get my hands on that. So I did. I quite literally know nothing about this. These tales read as if Jane Austen had rewritten the Brothers Grimm. Wonderful. I'm excited. I love Jane Austen. I love fairy tales. This cover is just really fun. So I just needed to hear Jane Austen, and then I picked it up because I have no chill when it comes to her. And the last three don't really go together, but I'm going to talk about them together because of how I got them. These are 3 middle grade books that I've had my eye on for a while, but I wanted the very specific UK cover, and I couldn't figure out how to get it until I finally found them on Book Depository. So that is how we picked them up. But the first 2 were actually part of the same series, and that is A Pinch of Magic and A Sprinkle of Sorcery, both by Michelle Harrison. These are part of the same series. A Pinch of Magic just came out in the US a couple of months ago, but they've both been out in the UK for about a year. This one came out last year, and this one came out this year, but I absolutely love the UK covers. They're stunning. So I needed to get my hands on this. I honestly do not even know what this is about. I know the first one follows 3 sisters who are trapped in some kind of ancient curse, and they have to break it. But apparently, like, her writing was very, very enchanting, and so I've had my eye on these for a while, and then when I figured out I could get the UK covers, because those are the ones that I like more, I said yes, so I grabbed them. Aren't they stunning? I just can't even with the shine, and they're so pretty. Stunning. And the same goes for The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. I also really, really like the UK cover over the US cover. I just think it's more magical. I think I just like this illustration style. I think that middle grades have, like, some of the most beautiful covers. This follows our main character, Marinka, I think is how you say that, and her grandmother is Baba Yaga, who guides spirits between this world and the next world. And they live in this house with chicken legs, and Marinka just wants to be a normal kid. She just wants to settle down. She wants to be in a town long enough where she can actually make friends. But the chicken house moves from place to place very, very frequently, and so I think she's going to set off on her own, maybe start an adventure, but the house has other plans. So, I think it's going to be based off of, like, Russian folklore as well, but I wanted to get my hands on this one because this one was Sophie Anderson's first book, I think. I might be totally wrong on that, but she also has one out that's called The Girl Who Speaks Bear, which I'm also interested in, but I wanted to get only one just to make sure that, like, her writing style is for me before I, like, dive into more works from her. They're so pretty. These covers are stunning, and there's so much foiling on this one. Oh, she's shiny. Yeah, that's it. Those are the 14 books that I purchased in the month of September. We have some really, really great ones that I'm incredibly excited about, and we have some ones that, like, I'm actually reading now. So, you know, I might not put these off for forever. I might actually, like, read these at a normal time. That's really all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of the books that I have mentioned in this haul, please let me know. Let's chat down below. If you haven't picked up Who I Was With Her, please do that. It is stunning. But that's what I have for you guys today. Like I said, I do hope that you enjoyed. Make sure you talk to me about the books down in the comments. And if you did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media down there as well if you want to follow along on any of those. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!